I wrote in that column about, you know, being at this boarding school and watching these fathers pull up in their limousines, fathers who had very little contact with their sons, with their personal photographers, and these were famous, wealthy men. And that picture of them playing with their son, which was total fiction, would be disseminated through the press. Yeah, amorality, hedonism, selfishness, callousness.
And part of it is the total willingness to accept, for example, that ordinary people's families should send their kids off to war, right, to defend the American way of life, which means essentially their way of life, right, can die for these things. It's almost a kind of racism. I mean, when the British enslaved the Irish, you don't have to be black and of color to be thought of as less than human, and that seems to be what the super rich think about most other people.
Well, not just the working class. I mean, the kind of disdain for the working class and also the middle class. I mean, in some way, the way they would speak about the middle class, and, you know, in essence, coming out of the middle class, this was something that struck home to me. Yeah, they inhabit another world, and they have very sophisticated mechanisms of public relations and well-publicized acts of philanthropy to hide their private faces. But how they act when the doors close and how they act in public is very different. And having, as Vidal was, as Fitzgerald was, you know, having been behind those closed doors and seeing the decadence of the ruling elite, it certainly marked me for the rest of my life, and it defined for me at a very early age who my enemies were.